In today's video, we're gonna be comparing two of the arguably best smartphone gimbals that you can buy in 2025. On one side, we have the DJI OM7P with the AI tracking module. And on the other side, we have the brand new Insta360 Flow 2. We're gonna put them side by side. We're gonna compare them in 8 different categories. And ultimately, this should give you a guideline on which of these two gimbals you should buy. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get going. All right, everybody, so welcome back to the channel. In case you're new here, welcome. My name is Julian, and let's kick things off with category number 1, which is the overall unboxing experience and what you're getting inside of the box. And generally speaking, with both of them, you get the gimbal itself. Both of them have a table tripod built in directly into the gimbal. You just need to fold it down, put it in, and you're basically good to go. So no need to carry an extra, table tripod around like you used to do in the past. Both of them also come with a little clamp like this. You can just put that onto your smartphone, and then you can just connect it via magnets, which are built in here. And then also both of them come with an AI tracking module. Also with both of them, you're getting a pouch that you can use to just carry it around so it does not get destroyed. And with the Insta360 Flow, you also have the opportunity to get this magnet thing here that you can put on the back of your phone. Just gonna show you real quick what this looks like. So it's basically for MagSafe devices. So on my iPhone 16 Pro, I can just connect it like this, and then I can just let that connect automatically, and I'm good to go and I can get started. Both of the gimbals obviously also come with the USB-C cable. You need to charge it up, but that is basically it. So when it comes to the unboxing experience, there is no big difference, and I would say it's like exactly the same, to be honest. All right, so in category number 2, we're gonna talk about the design and the setup speed and overall like how fast you can get started with using these gimbals. And in my opinion, having a smartphone gimbal, like one of the biggest benefits is obviously having super smooth footage all of the time. But on the other side, it should also stay like super simple, super minimal, because if I'm just rigging up my smartphone like crazy, then I could be using a regular camera. So when it comes to the design, I think both of them are very similar. At the front here, you have like the navigation or like the, the unit where you just control the whole gimbal. And same thing is also on the Insta360 Flow 2. At the back, you have a button. Also, same thing with both gimbals. If you press it twice, the gimbal is just gonna recalibrate and auto-center it. So again, when it comes to the overall design, very, very similar. The biggest design difference is in the AI tracking module, but we are gonna have a dedicated section in this video just talking about the AI tracking. So when it comes to the Insta360 Flow, this is how you would probably carry it. Because it gets super small, super tiny. And basically the same thing is also with the DJI. So as you can see, if you just compare them side by side, very similar in size. And I would not say that one is a lot bigger or a lot heavier or something like this. I would say very similar, to be honest. One thing that I really like with the Insta360 Flow here, for example, is what I mentioned before, this magnetic thing here that I can put onto the back of my iPhone, and I can just connect that automatically. So it's plugged in like this, and it's also, not falling over. And in case I want to start shooting, all I need to do is just flip it up, and then I'm basically ready to start shooting. Basically, you can do the same thing also on the DJI. The only thing that I found is that the quick setup, the one-hand deployment, it's not working all of the time. I have been testing both gimbals extensively. With the Insta360 Flow, I did not have any issues. The DJI gimbal, sometimes it also turns on automatically, like if I'm just doing like a little bit something like this. And also like the quick deployment does not work all of the time. Is it a deal breaker? To be honest, in my opinion, no, but I just wanted to get it out there. So in summary, both gimbals are very small, very lightweight. You can get started with shooting in just a couple of minutes. And yeah, also when it comes to the pocketableness, like can you put that into a pocket? Can you travel with that? I would also say like both are travel approved. So when it comes to giving that point to the DJI or to the Insta360, I would more lean over to the Insta360. I did not mention that yet, but it does also have an NFC chip built in. So all you need to do is just put your phone on there, and then you can also start shooting with the app a little bit faster. So just a little more convenient, a little more modern. But overall, when it comes to the design and how fast you're ready to shoot, like you can't really go wrong with either of them. All right, category number 3 is the most important one for me personally, and that is the overall stability. Like how smooth are the shots that you can get with either of the gimbals. And that's something that I absolutely love when shooting with smartphones and shooting with gimbals in modern world that we're living in, that both of them perform exceptionally well. Like, you know, even if you're a beginner, even if you have never used a smartphone gimbal before, you are gonna get absolutely awesome results with both of them. I've tested them with just regular walking. I've tested them with, you know, panning and tilting around. I've also used the low mode. I have also used, you know, the extension module that both of them have. So you can extend both of them, which is something I forgot to mention in the design section. And what you just saw here is just like when you're moving around the DJI, it very often turns on and then it starts to, you know, shake around. So that's what I meant in the last category, that, you know, I just think this is just a little more modern and a little, yeah, just overall a little better. But coming back to the stability, again, when it comes to walking, and also keep in mind that I'm a professional filmmaker. Like, I do filming for a living, so I'm shooting like tons of stuff with professional cameras with these guys. So I do have a little bit of an unfair advantage. And when I have been testing them side by side, I could not see a massive difference. Overall, when it comes to the tracking, so when I have been shooting, but also at the same time I have been tracking, I found the Insta360 Flow 2 to be just a little smoother compared to the DJI. But again, it's like not a big difference, to be honest. So one thing that I would recommend you do is, in case you're getting any of these smartphone gimbals, just master your craft. Make sure that you're bending your knees, make sure that you're, you know, helping the gimbal getting its best results. One thing that you can also do is just switch to the ultra wide angle lens. That just makes the whole shot like look just a little smoother. But overall, when it comes to the sheer stability, I found them to be equally as good. So this category is gonna be a draw. All right, so the next category is gonna be all about these AI tracking modules and how good they are in day-to-day uses. And this is probably a category that you guys are very excited for because that's something that's new, that's revolutionary. And when it comes to the general use cases, like you can use that in case you're filming yourself and you just have no camera operator. You can use that to, I don't know, to film your kid running around, film your pets running around. So there are multiple scenarios there. Also, in case you're live streaming and you're just moving around a little bit with something like this, you could just, you know, let it follow you around. So when it comes to using these AI tracking modules on the DJI, you just have to connect it to the clamp right here. It just connects just like this. And on the Insta360 Flow 2, you have this module here, and you can basically just connect this right here. Spread it in, and then you can see the light turns on automatically. And by the way, both of them have a built-in, you know, fill light that you can use in case you're filming in darker scenarios. And with both of these gimbals, you have the option to use their app, and that's where you're gonna get the most advanced features. You can, you know, obviously track a face. With the Insta360 Flow, you can also track multiple faces at the same time. The Insta360 Flow 2 also has a couple of cool features like the automatic zoom feature, where it's tracking an object. For example, it's tracking a kid and that is running around, but at the same time, it's also zooming in. That creates kind of like a cool effect. To be honest, it looks very cool, and for social media purposes, it's gonna be very good. But when you're zooming with a smartphone, you're always zooming in digitally, which means you're losing quality. So I personally, as being a filmmaker, I'm not the biggest fan of that. With the Insta360 Flow 2, for example, I really like the way and how you can change the framing of your shots. You basically just tap on this little button right here where it says framing, and then you can just put yourself in the spot where you want to be. You can do the same thing also with the DJI, but you have to fumble around with the hand gestures. So again, I just found the Insta360 Flow to be a little easier to use and a little more intuitive. On the other side, both gimbals can also be used without the specific app that it's coming with, and then you can still use the AI tracking module. You can mainly just use it to track yourself or to track a human being, and both of them have gesture controls. There are a couple of hand gestures that you can do, and then it's just gonna follow you around and track yourself. One of the biggest differences that I found is just the overall smoothness of moving from left to right. I found the Insta360 Flow to be like a lot more natural and a lot less machinery looking compared to the DJI, but again, it's not like a night and day difference. So overall, when it comes to the AI tracking features, I think both of them are top class and among the best that you can get at the moment. But if I had to give a point, I would give this one over to the Insta360 Flow. Next category is all about the creative modes that you have within the different apps. And to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of using these automatic modes that those gimbals are giving you. But in case you are more of a beginner filmmaker and you're just getting started and you want to have these cool effects without like doing much in the post-production or anything at all for that matter, then both of them have some absolutely awesome features. And just to name a couple of modes that I'm using from time to time, that's the Inception mode, for example, where it's just spinning around and you have this cool effect. Also for time lapses and hyperlapses, you have a couple very cool options. And also when it comes to automated, motion time lapses, you can dial all of that in directly within the app. With both of them, I did not find like a massive difference between the two. But again, like just for me personally, I'm not like the most appropriate guy to review these features because I have the background of being a filmmaker. So maybe also check out some of the other reviews out there, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm gonna upload a couple more short form videos where I'm testing individual features. But for me, I found both of them to work really well. I personally am just not the biggest fan. So for me, this category is gonna be a draw. All right, so let's talk about the app and overall the manual controls that you have on the gimbal. Again, I mentioned before, I have been using both of them extensively, and the overall way on how you're using the gimbal and navigating between the different modes and stuff, it's just a little bit different, but overall it's very similar. So for example, in case you want to change the modes on the Insta360 Flow 2, you just press this button right here and then you're switching between the different modes. And on the DJI gimbal, you basically just press the M button. So both of that works very similar. It's just like a little different. You do also have a wheel on the DJI. So overall, when it comes to the usage, you just need to get used to them, and overall you need to master the gear that you have, but like the physical control is very similar. On the other side, when it comes to the app, again, it's like the same theme that I have been talking about in the whole video. I just found the Insta360 Flow and the app and stuff just a little easier and a little more intuitive. It's not like a night and day difference and the DJI is super bad and this is like very great. I think both of them are very fine. I just like this a little more, but it could also be just personal preference. So one thing I want to give you on the go here is don't buy the Insta360 Flow 2 or don't buy the DJI OM7P just for the app or something like this. I think like the AI tracking, the stability, how it feels, all of these things are a lot more important compared to the app usage. Because one thing I also want to say here is like in 95% of all scenarios, I'm just using the native camera app because what I mentioned before, for me shooting with a smartphone, it's all about convenience and it's all about being fast and efficient. And not having to use a third-party app just for me speeds up the process and makes it easier, which means I'm shooting more. So that's just my thought process, but I just wanted to share this with you. So again, for me, when it comes to the manual controls and the app, again, it's a draw here. All right, so the next category is gonna be a very short and simple one, and that is battery life. Both of these gimbals claim to have a battery life of up to 10 hours. What I'm always saying in this gimbal reviews is like, you're not gonna get them empty within a day, usually, unless you're shooting like all day long in 50 degrees Celsius and you're going crazy. But I never ever managed to drain an entire smartphone gimbal battery within a day, and that's the most important thing for me. So I did not see a difference in this being better or this being better. Both worked fine. Both of them also have the feature that you can plug in a USB-C cable and also charge your phone at the same time. So both of them are more or less exactly identical in this regard. So again, this category is a draw. All right, so let's come to the final verdict. What is my overall conclusion when comparing these two gimbals? First thing I wanted to get out of the way, I think both of them are absolutely fantastic and you can't go wrong with either of them. If you are just getting started and you want to have something that's super easy to use, super reliable, and that just works great, I would more lean over to the Insta360 Flow. Just a little bit. It's like maybe 51% to 49%. So again, it's not something that I would say this is like 10 times better compared to this, but overall just using it, especially also with the AI tracking, it just felt a little more intuitive and just a little easier. Also, one thing that I loved is the magnetic clamp that you can put onto your smartphone. That's just something that's really nice. I really enjoyed having that. And overall, it just, made the whole process just a little easier for me, which again is the thing that I'm looking for when purchasing a smartphone gimbal. Also, one thing that is important to mention in my opinion is the price. The Insta360 Flow 2 costs let me check, $129, and the OM7P from DJI is $149. So it's just a little more expensive. Maybe one other thing that is important to mention, the DJI OM7P with the tracking module, this at the same time also is a microphone receiver. So you do have the option to get the DJI Mic Mini as a separate package. I think that's like $219 or something like this. And then you at the same time also have your mic receiver built in right here, and all you need to do is connect it with the cable. With the Insta360 Flow on the other side, they do also have a microphone system, which comes in this pouch right here. And it also basically works exactly the same. The only difference is that you need to plug this thing into your gimbal, and then you're ready to shoot. So I'm just gonna show you how that works. Then you're just gonna turn it on and then you're good to go. So also one thing that is always important, that this is not in the way. So as you can see, like no matter how I'm moving around, I can still use that. And then the microphone itself is this thing right here that again, you can just put onto your shirt. So both of them again are very, very similar in most scenarios. If I had to pick one for the rest of my life, I would lean over to the Insta360 Flow. But again, as you have heard throughout this video, it's just like tiny marginal differences. In case you have not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so. Below this video, you will also find links to both gimbals. Insta360 gave me a coupon code, so you can check this out down below. Huge thanks to both companies for sending this gimbal my way. I really hope this helped you. Let me know in case you have some more questions. And one last thing I wanted to mention here, we have just launched a brand new course showing you how you can create your own AI avatar of yourself. So in case you want to have an AI version of yourself that does all the content creation for you, and then make sure you check it out down below. I've put it into the description. We currently have a launch deal going on. It's very exciting. You can check it out. So again, huge thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.